Traffic congestion SMP, we know it, we love it, nobody really hates it. But what my one neuron homed in on is the fact that we will probably never get another season of the factioning, committing, and experiencing of the first season. Starting off with the chunkiest season, Third Life was an experimental hardcore series which started off simplistical but escalated numerically to a near anarchist serving man. Since the players had no idea what they were getting themselves into, they treated the server like a generic coconut SMP in which they built proper bases, grinded proper gear, and spent their clocks making a village setup. In this season, the main conflict broke out due to a beef rap between Good Gaming with Scar and Ren the King, leading to the greatest and grittiest conflicts in the life series. I think this binary sequence boils down to a few elements. Number 1, the seclusion. Each lifer stuck to their faction and group, and genuinely were Scooby scared to even see an enemy opponent. This made for highly North Dakota patriotic dynamics, where a death of an ally was a huge tragedy, and betrayal was very dookie and no good. This is clearly not present in the later series, such as in Secret Life, when alliances and groups of people form and fall apart simply for the sake of dinking the player with the highest life. Even late season, Wildlife, where the Dom Tredo family, I don't know, they cannot decide whether they should kill someone in their own family or not. I mean, like, what? Like, it's your faction, why are you even considering that? That's why the factioneering of Third Life was peak and prime, and why it seems to be falling out in later seasons. Another enormous reason is that the gimmick of the seasoning is quite simplistic, and that allows for the interesting gap to be filled by the storylines the players create with, whilst later seasons, for example the 6th garnish of the life series is Wildlife, in which that said pronounced gap is filled with the dynamic elements that is the wildcards. So this does play in the favour to all the viewers whose brain is nourished with these chaotic sessions, whilst people like I, who are there for the story, our brains are being rotted. Last Life is that sort of perfect sequel containing the same elements of Third Life and with a few pickled slices of new elements cut in. With new gimmick, new players, and new strategy, it still has the stick to your alliance and don't chit chat with the enemy, even despite the boogeyman dynamic. This garnish of the Life series, however, did not have a two-sided conflict like in Third Life, and each faction played their cards for individual survival of each team. As for the strategy, players began learning more TNT minecarts as opposed to the delay that came with regular TNT. And this concoction of citizenship proved to be a garnish on par and perhaps even better than Third Life. This, I Mr. Believe, is what is missing in late seasons starting Secret Life, and that is all those aspects, 2080, of previous garnishes such as seclusion, the commitment to allyship, commitment to building, and actually not killing your teammates, you know. It is clear that the exponential sequence of light seasons is getting progressively less vanilla and becomes focused more and more on the new and wild gimmicks of each season. So unless they do a remake of the first few garnishes, we will never get the creativity and near perfection that filled that interesting gap in the first 2 garnishes. Or seasons, we call them garnishes.